wondering if we can get into some trouble tonight.
Hello, fellow flows, and welcome to another episode of Bursting with Energy. I'm your host, Jess Flo, life coach and spiritual guide, and we're here to talk energy. For those of you that are newcomers, welcome. This is the platform where we kind of talk on different subjects on how you can increase your energy with zero to little cost. So we're making sure that it's either free or little cost. So we're going to go into it. If you guys are keeping up with the show, then you know that we started season 1 with the basics, and we're going deeper into the subjects. But if you are new and you can follow, perfect, follow along with season 2. And if you want to go back to the basics, then I suggest you go back to season 1. So this episode is Bursting with Expressions. I'm really excited for you guys to meet my host, my expert, Emily Plante. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Thank you for accepting the invitation. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on this show with you. A little bit about myself. I'm Emily Plante, as you mentioned, a speaking and communication coach. So I help people gain confidence so they can express themselves with ease and clarity in any business environment, so for work specifically.
Okay. I love that because we don't really go back and touch on how we express ourselves or how we communicate unless we're in professional settings. So I worked with Emily and I got to see how it brings us back to that childhood self, but it also helps your professional life. So I found that really interesting. So how did you get here? How did you become a speaker coach?
The path, I would say, wasn't straightforward. It was a bit of a story, some pivoting. I've always loved acting and theater. That's something that I started doing in elementary school, performed in a lot of plays throughout elementary, middle, and high school. And then I decided to pursue acting in my post-secondary education at Dawson College, graduated from their professional theater and acting program. And it's here in Montreal, Dawson, for those of you who know.
Yeah, for those of you in Montreal.
For those of you in Montreal. I really loved it. Afterwards, I did a bit of devised theater, which is an experimental type of theater, more avant-garde, not traditional. So you might not be performing in a venue, in a theater, or on stage. You could be in the park, you could be in an abandoned building, moving throughout the city on a bus.
So you got different environments.
Yeah, lots of different things. It opened up my mind to the possibilities of theater, because you think, oh, it's kind of a useless degree, right? If you don't
See, if you didn't know what to do with your degree, it can sometimes lead here. So
it can, absolutely, because it's been so helpful in different things. I started language teaching through traveling. I got this.
How did you start language teaching? So you were doing acting?
I did acting, did devised theater, then I went traveling for a bit, on and off for a few years. And while I was traveling, I taught English to this host family. I was an au pair for 10 months. An au pair is a type of a live-in nanny. And it's a language exchange. So you teach your host family the language that you're native in.
And then they have you.
They have you take care of the kids a little bit, do some chores.
And then you get to stay there.
And you get to stay there and have an experience where you can travel over the weekend or do day trips. It was really fun. I was in the north of France, had a blast. And I had peer tutored some people in English at Dawson during my last year. So I had a bit of experience under my belt. And then later, one other opportunity I had while traveling was volunteering in Poland, where I taught English to some teenagers and children. And then through that volunteer work, I got this TEFL certificate, teaching English as a foreign language.
TEFL, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then COVID hit, so I had to pivot a little bit because the theater industry was kind of down and not really active. I was going to go back into it, but then
so you were you were going to go back. Okay.
But I saw this ad for language teaching online, and I thought, sure, I could be an English teacher.
Yeah.
And I started doing that about, I want to say, over 2 years ago now.
Wow, so that's how you got into it.
Well, I got into language teaching, and then now I combine my acting background and language teaching experience to create a coaching method that is unique because I use different acting exercises, improv too.
I love that. That is a really unique story. So as you guys have been seeing for season 2, everyone has kind of said their story and how they landed where they are today. And it's always been like, you know, twists and turns. But I love that because it is like you started with acting, then you went into language, you were traveling, and then COVID hit. And, you know, a lot of us, like, we were trying to figure out what to do. And you combined that, and you, like, so I did a session with her, and I found it very unique. I really enjoyed it because I feel like it made me go in touch with my inner child, but it also helped me express, like, and think about saying things differently. And you guys are going to see it with the participants, and you're going to see it as she talks more, but that's a very interesting journey. Thank you.
Yeah, well, through language teaching specifically, I noticed that it's not just learning the language, but how you say things too. I was pulling a lot of my acting experience to help people who were trying to learn English, and I figured might as well work with people who already speak English and help them fine-tune their expression.
Yes. Wow, beautiful. So if you guys are looking to fine-tune your expression, you know who to look for. All right, so what do we need to be aware of when it comes to communication skills? So what do I need to be aware of? What are you aware of? What do you tell your clients? What does the audience need to be aware of?
We need to be aware of a lot of things.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, communication is such an essential skill, especially in the workplace, but outside of work too. A lot of these things can be applicable in your personal life. But we start with awareness as the foundation so that you can figure out what are your typical talking tendencies. If I tend to speak really, really quickly, then maybe I need to slow down so that people can understand what I'm saying, digest the information. If I talk a little bit lower and people can't hear me, then maybe I need to bring my volume up.
That makes sense.
So we focus on, with my clients, I focus on volume. That's one of the speaking dials. I like to have them imagine that there's a dial we're turning up or down.
Okay.
So a 5 for volume would be really high, and that 1 would be really low.
Oh, I like that.
So you can adjust depending on the situation because there's no right dial. Like when you're cooking, you're not going to cook everything on the high heat or low heat. It depends on the situation for speaking. After volume, there's clarity. They're not necessarily in that order, but I like to start with things that are easier to grasp. Volume is usually something that people understand.
Brice, can you tell them to? Thank you.
No worries. So clarity, can people understand me? If we mumble and we eat our words up when we talk like this, then it's harder to understand. After that, we've got speed and rhythm. I mentioned earlier how you can talk really quickly. You could also speak very slowly and take too many pauses, and then people lose interest.
Yeah, that's true.
So the rhythm part concerns pausing as well. Can I take pauses from time to time? Because if we always have the same rhythm, think of music, songs, you know how there are different notes.
Flows,
Yeah, if you always go da da dun, da da dun, da da dun, it gets boring.
Yeah.
So how can we mix it up?
Okay,
We're always looking for variety.
So first becoming aware of how you speak, and then adjusting it to your goal, basically.
Yeah, depending on the situation, if I'm in a setting where I'm talking to one person, my volume might not be as loud as if I'm on stage and addressing a whole bunch of people. You want to project your voice so that everyone in the room can hear you. And then the other one too is intonation, your tone of voice. If you always sound like you're asking a question at the end of your sentence and you talk like this, then people might find that odd. Hey, I'm Emily. How are you? How are you makes sense, but I'm a speaking coach. Am I? Maybe I'm not sure.
I love it. Let us know what you guys think about your own speaking tones, how you communicate, and if you want to adjust it a little bit depending on who you're with or what you're talking about.
Who you're with, where you are, what you're talking about too, for sure.
Okay, so what does full body communication mean? So we kind of touched on that a little bit when we were doing our session together. So what does that mean, and how can people apply that?
I think most people immediately think of the voice when we think of speaking, right? You hear a voice, you focus only on the voice, but we do, or if we're trying to be effective, we should engage our full bodies. It's like a physical activity. If you do some sports, you're going to be really in touch with your body and present. If I'm speaking, my posture is just kind of like, hey, what's up? Then my voice,
like you don't really
my voice isn't going to be as strong in this position. Right? If I'm standing instead of sitting, I'm going to have more freedom to move around, to use my hands. But that doesn't mean when you're sitting that you shouldn't engage your body either.
Yeah.
So for the body, earlier I talked about the speaking dials for voice. For body language, we focus on your face. How expressive are you? If you're very, if you always make the same face, it's good to be aware of these things, because if I'm always looking at you and talking to you like this, you might think that I feel a certain way that I'm not feeling. It might just be I'm concentrated, and this is the face I make when I'm concentrated.
So it can create miscommunication.
Of course. Of course. And then after face, there's hands. How do you use your hands? Do you gesture? Are you enhancing your message when you use your hands? Or is it all over the place and distracting? Are you hindering what you're saying? Use them with intention. That's what I tell people. And then the overall body too, the posture, how you move around. If you're standing, are you pacing back and forth? Do you move with intention?
I like that. It's a lot to be aware of, and I feel
It
like
is.
children naturally do it. They're kind of trying to find their balance, and they're always playing games so that like they are aware of it. Maybe not aware like when we are adults, but they pay attention to it. So
Yeah.
it's good to bring that back.
We sometimes lose touch with our bodies, especially if we're sitting at a desk all day doing a job. You tend to slouch,
Yeah.
or lose the posture. You get stiff if you're staring at a screen all day. So how can we wake up our faces, our hands, our bodies when we're speaking?
That's actually a good point, because for those of you that are sitting in front of a desk all day, this is how you can wake up. Like, these are the skills that you can learn or relearn to wake up your body and keep it active. I like that. So what do communication, because you just did talk about communication and waking up your body, what does that have to do with energy? Because everything we talk about is how to increase energy in all areas of life, right? So what does speaking, communication have to do with energy?
I think if you're speaking to people, as the speaker, you set the energy for your audience. So earlier when I was lying down and if I talk like this and the energy is kind of low, you're going to feel that.
Yeah.
However you want your audience to feel, you need to present that.
Yeah.
And I tell my clients to warm up, to bring their energy up. If you go for a run, or a marathon, you're probably not going to start sprinting straight away. You're going to train, warm up first. I don't really run, so that might not be the best example. But
You're going to stretch.
yeah, you're going to do things to warm up before breaking into that run so that you don't hurt yourself. So same thing for speaking, so you don't hurt your voice and so that you wake up your body. You warm up first to build that energy, because it is a bit of something that's less tangible. Energy, how can we work on that? When I tell people, bring up the energy, they don't really know. Sometimes it's excitement, it's a positive energy. Because we mirror the way that people speak or feel, if I'm feeling really sad and just down,
It'll have an influence on me.
It'll impact you for sure. If I want to rile you up and empower you, and I speak in a way that really speaks to you, resonates with you, then you're going to feel that. The energy totally changes. So your tone of voice, it depends on the situation. You don't always want to be high energy if you're having a serious conversation. That doesn't really work.
No, it doesn't.
So it's important to find the right level of energy. But when you're giving a presentation, talking to a group of people, you definitely want to start with energy that's at least at a certain level, not too low, because people won't feel what you're trying to say. They won't
They might
click
get lost in it.
It's not going to resonate with them as much.
Okay, I understand. Okay, so what does that have to be? Because when we were talking, you said there's stagnant energy, right? How do we, in life in general, people do feel stagnant sometimes, right? So we'll talk about I'll show you guys activities with the participants that she showed me, but how does it impact when you are in that stagnant energy versus when you are doing the warm-ups?
For instance, at the beginning of my day, if I don't warm up, and when I warm up, you'll see with Jess in a second, but I warm up the mind, body, voice. If I don't do that, then I might still be half asleep. And I notice that I'm just not as good, as clear.
What does it mean to warm up the mind? Because you said warm up the mind.
Yes. I say warm up the mind, it's more of a mental preparation. If not in it, not feeling it, not in the zone, then it's going to be so much harder. I might be preoccupied thinking about a million different things and not focused and not feel present in the moment. It's all about your presence. How can you be in the moment? I'm sure through your breath work you touch upon that a lot.
Even when you're waking up. So you know when you guys wake up in the morning and you're just not in the mood, it can ruin your whole day. But if you stay present and you wake that mindset up, then it'll help you have a more enjoyable day.
And warm-ups help, especially on the days when you're not feeling it. When you're, I can't do this today, then you might want to do a longer warm-up on that day. If the sun's shining, it's bright, I might already feel peppy and need a shorter warm-up instead. But I notice it in terms of how clearly I speak, my energy levels, my concentration. It really helps you get into that focused zone.
I like that, because that's exactly where, what is the intention with your day? What is the intention with your goal? So if you can get yourself in that zone by becoming aware of your habits when it comes to communication, then I feel like it's a beautiful thing, because then you're using every part of you to work for you. So I like that. Very cool, very cool. Okay. So next questions. So what are some tips you have on empowering speaking mindset? Because you were talking about the mind, then you were talking about how to wake up the whole body. So what are some empowering speaking mindsets, and then how does that impact the rest of your body?
Yeah, I work with a lot of non-native English speakers, so sometimes language is an additional barrier, and that's why we talk about creating an empowering speaking mindset, because you might stand on stage and think, oh my God, I'm going to fail. This is not for me. I don't know how to speak. And you just keep repeating these negative thoughts and limiting beliefs, and then you feel really nervous, and then you freak out. And sometimes how we feel on the inside isn't always reflected on how we feel on the outside. People can't always tell that you're nervous. And so to overcome these mental blocks, to create an empowering mindset, my first tip would be to write down your negative thoughts and limiting beliefs. What are these things that are recurring? For non-native English speakers, it's often, I have a strong accent and people can't understand me. They think that no one understands them because of their accent. But then I tell them, how can we reframe that into something that's positive? An affirmation maybe. My accent is unique to me. It tells my story. It's beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah, and if people don't understand me, it's probably not my accent. It might be my clarity, and I can work on that. I can adjust that speaking dial. I can work on certain pronunciation or word stress, but it's not the overall accent that needs to change. Embrace your accent.
Yes, I love that, because it changes the direction of the energy. Instead of going into people can't hear me because of an accent, which could be a negative speaking mindset, you take it into, I have a unique story, and actually I can work on these things, which will make me be more clear and communicate more effectively with people. I love it.
Yeah. So then the second tip would be to repeat those affirmations once you land on something that really resonates with you, that empowers you. Repeat those in front of the mirror every day and mean it. I don't want you to say, I have a powerful voice. Really mean it. I have a powerful voice. You know, say it with conviction. Because if you're not buying it, then it's not going to work to its advantage.
I feel like so your answer had the underlying of how it's connected to the body, because when you're saying it in your mind and you're speaking it and you're doing it in front of the mirror, then your body reacts to that energy, which is typically what happens when you're having a conversation with someone. So you see, when you were lying down, that actually reminds me of, you know, when there's a movie and there's the free-spirited person, or the person that's kind of like, you know, you know exactly the type of person. That's what they're typically doing, and they can influence other people based on that and influence their body language as well. So I feel that speaking mindset does influence your body, which influences other people's bodies.
Yeah, sometimes I'll even get people to stand in a powerful pose, you know, the Superman pose, where you're looking forward, and then it changes. All of a sudden you feel good.
Yeah, I love it. That's very good. I feel like there's a groundedness to it, you know, when you do the super, so you feel more anchored in what you're doing.
Yes, exactly.
Which can, you know, give you energy as well. You guys can go back to, like, when we talked about plants and anchoring with, like, plants, and then there's that grounding in it. Okay, so tell us a little bit about the services that you offer, and then we'll go into anything else. We'll end with anything else that you have to say to the audience, anything on communication, anything on speaking. So what services do you have to offer, and how can people reach you?
Yeah, so I offer one-on-one services, one-on-one coaching services, and I recommend a minimum of 5 sessions. Each session is an hour long. We usually space them out over a week minimum, so that you have enough time to apply the concepts that we go over in the sessions in your day-to-day life. I'll often give homework exercises for people. It starts at 5 sessions, but then there are packages that are longer, 10, 15. And what's great with the one-on-one coaching is that I can really tailor it to your needs.
I like that.
because not everyone's going to speak in the same way.
Yeah.
I mentioned volume, clarity. Sometimes people are too loud and they need to tone it down. Or they're very monotone, and we need to figure out how to make them a little more lively, engaging. So everyone has their own areas that need improvement, and strengths too. People have lots of different strengths. We don't want to lose focus. Touch on that. And there's not a formula that fits everyone.
I was going to
One
ask
size
you
fits
that.
all.
Yeah, is there like a general formula that...
Well, there are general things to questions that you can ask yourself. Am I being heard? Because if we can't hear you, it doesn't matter how interesting whatever it is you're saying. If it's really interesting and cool, if we can't hear you, we just can't hear you.
Am I being heard? I like that.
Am I being heard? So that's volume usually. Maybe, you know, if you're too loud, we zone you out as well. You know, it's true. Like loud
I
music.
love how that you're giving descriptions about these, because you guys are probably having people pop into your mind when she's saying this stuff.
Yeah, you know, that really person who talks really loud and you just zone out, don't listen to them. Am I being heard? Then am I being understood? So that's often clarity, speed, and rhythm.
I like that.
If you're being heard but we can't understand you, maybe you speak too fast, don't give us enough time to digest what you're saying, then that's too bad. And then the last question, we go in that order so that you make sure, first, are you heard? Are you understood? Am I being memorable? Because maybe you're speaking and delivering things in a nice technical way, like technically you're a good speaker, but what you're saying, the content kind of, it doesn't really stick with us.
Yeah, not quality.
Or maybe it is the way that you're saying it. Maybe it's loud and clear, but it's very monotone, or there's not enough variety. You're not putting emphasis on key information, or you're overloading us with too much stuff.
Okay, I love that. I do have, so I have a question, but so have you ever seen, or you were watching or observing conversations and you were like, oh my gosh, this is really not an effective way to communicate?
Yeah, I think that happens.
Are there like,
Yeah.
I guess two or three things that you've noticed that people do that you're like, okay, this is not effective?
Sure, it is. Well, I'll give you an example. I listened to this audiobook recently, and it's not that the content was bad, but the way it was delivered was just always the same. And it wasn't think of Siri's voice, you know, where it's clear, it's loud, but it lacks humanity or feeling.
Yes.
So sometimes people are very, almost like they're reading a textbook and scientific, and then we're missing a bit of that human connection or something that helps us relate to what they're saying.
And that can be a turnoff.
To me specifically, some people might think
they like that.
They like that.
Let us know in the comments if you like that, when people are like textbook reading. There's teachers that are like that too, and I found that students find it very difficult to connect with the teacher when they are like that.
You don't remember. They're not being memorable.
Exactly.
That's the issue.
But I want to know if there's any of you that do like that type of tone.
Maybe. Maybe you don't like it when people are too high energy and happy and it's too bubbly for the topic. Maybe that gets on your nerves. That could be a thing. But often, I would say, with most of my clients, clarity is the one that comes up, because it's not just the enunciation of words, but if you're not being clear if your message is too complicated and you're using all these convoluted words and you're trying to sound a certain way, but it comes across like a puzzle that we need to decipher. Our brains are lazy. We don't want to have to. Yeah, I know, but we don't want to have to piece together what you're saying. The simpler the better, honestly.
I like that.
Make it so simple, or simple enough for a 10, 12-year-old to understand. They have enough vocabulary, and you need to be engaging too to captivate a 10 or 12-year-old. When you talk to kids, it's not the same way that you talk to adults.
That's true.
And we lose that. You're talking about the inner child. We lose that playfulness, that energy that we had. We become a little more, we tone back, or we try to be professional, and we think that being professional is that textbook voice.
There were certain things that we did during our session together, so she showed me, you guys will see it on the, so I'll show you now, but you'll see it on the participants. So there's certain facial expressions that we did. Can you show the camera your?
Oh, yeah.
And I used to do that all the time when I was young, because my uncle could do it. and now I can't do it because I haven't done it in years. And I was like, oh my gosh. Or the fish face.
Yeah, the fish face. I love the fish face.
I could not do it, and I used to do it all the time when I was little. And we'll see if the participants can do it. But that's what I found was interesting because these are things that made you playful. These are things that made you, I guess, your face more.
Yeah.
You know, it actually keeps you young. There's like, you know, that face yoga that people have been doing.
Yes.
And while we were
Absolutely.
talking, I'm like, this is what keeps you young, and we forget that. So I found that interesting. See, so another way to stay young is by
if you're staring at a computer screen all day or any screen, you might get stiff because of the way that we're concentrated when we're reading too. If you're presenting things that you're reading, then you're so concentrated your face doesn't really move.
And I read a lot.
Yeah. While you're talking? Yeah.
No, not when I'm talking, but like when I'm at home, I read a lot.
Okay, well that's a bit different. But if you're presenting content that you're reading out loud, then you might not deliver it in the same way.
Yeah, usually they tell you not to do that during presentations.
For sure. But sometimes, sometimes it happens. You're reading off slides, or you can have those teleprompter apps.
Yeah, okay.
And then it makes sense to read, or if you have bullet points, some speeches people are
they have notes,
Yeah, they're reading their speeches, they haven't memorized it, but then your face might just be the same the whole time. And so it's important to wake up the face, to do different things, to get the blood flowing.
See how her face moves so fluidly? I love it.
There's such a thing as using your face a bit too much, though.
Yeah.
If you're constantly popping up and down, this is going to be distracting. Maybe for a comedy sketch, it works
then
really
it works,
well.
But if you're trying to get something out professionally, then it doesn't. So know your setting.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to use your judgment.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so is there any other last tips that you have for the audience? Anything that they can apply today? So awareness, we know.
Start with awareness.
Yeah. Repetition.
To be aware, you can film yourself in action. So record yourself, set up a camera. You can talk for 1 to 2 minutes. Maybe present yourself. How would you do your self-intro to people who don't know you? Your professional self-intro. Talk about some of your interests, perhaps things that you're passionate about. And see afterwards when you watch it, how's my volume? Is my clarity good? My speed, my rhythm, my face, my body language. What am I doing with my hands? Am I engaging them? Maybe not. If your arms are crossed, you might not be able to move them. So filming yourself, and it feels really uncomfortable at first, but it's such a great way to view yourself from a more objective lens. And then when you watch yourself in action, don't think about just the areas that need improvement. Your not weaknesses,
think of what you're good at.
Think of your strengths, highlight those, double down on those, and then where can I fine-tune some of my speaking skills?
Yes. Don't come in with I feel like there's a difference between judgment and critique, right? Positive critique too.
Yeah.
Or positive feedback. Don't go in with, I did this bad, I did this bad, I did this bad. Go into it with, I want to learn more about myself. I want to become more aware of my communication skills. You film yourself, you get over that awkwardness, and then you watch it. I feel like it's the watching part that's a little bit more awkward, but you sit down and you just observe it like a third party.
Exactly. And the more you do that, the more you'll become aware of how you really talk.
Yes.
Some people think their volume's really high, and it's actually
really low. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay. Thank you, Emily. Is there anything else you want to say to our audience before we let you
Yes,
go?
I completely forgot to tell you where you can reach me.
Yes.
On LinkedIn, maybe you can put the
we put your name. I didn't put your Instagram.
That's okay.
But I'll put in the description box her LinkedIn.
Yeah, my LinkedIn, Instagram, my email, those are usually the channels I use to communicate with people. On Instagram, I'm just at emilyplant.ca, and then when my website is up and running, it'll be emilyplant.ca as well.
Okay. Perfect. So Emily Plant, you guys saw how it's spelled on the screen. I'll put in her LinkedIn, and I'll also put in her Instagram so you guys can contact her.
Perfect.
However you need to. Thank you for this. This
Thanks
was
so
brilliant. We're going to go into the participant section so you guys can kind of see how we apply all of these techniques that you talked about. And yes, thanks. So 2 more minutes, guys. That was awesome.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, really good.
It's the never-ending drive, the drive to stay alive. Cause I know that if I stop, I'll most likely get shot. And even if it's documented, it ain't gonna be reprimanded. That's the way it always ended. People with power never defended. People like me, they just pretend, so it don't end. They ain't your friends. Look, what is your justification? You get your orders but you don't contemplate them, giving in to your temptations by making money off the blood of my nation. Are you sure you value life? You seem to take it easily, and every day I ask myself, how's this still our reality? One, a money man imposed on me. Some of y'all could never see the kind of inequality that every day it walks with me. Every day it talks to me, every day it knocks on me. So since I'm in the driver's seat, I won't concede. It's the never-ending drive, the drive to stay alive. Cause I know that if I stop, I'll most likely get shot. And even if it's documented, it ain't gonna be reprimanded. It ain't gonna be reprimanded. It ain't gonna be reprimanded. Justice is conditional. It's set to benefit the fool, the one who says he went to school but blindly takes your life from you. Not scared of repercussions, cause the rulers, they his cousins, and they'll never see their sins, cause we mean nothing to them. It's the type of justice system that lets them take our sisters when we finally safe at night, thinking we don't gotta fight for the right to just breathe, or to think we could achieve, for the right to think, for the right to blink. Shit, they killing niggas that work with them. The never-ending drive, the drive to stay alive. Cause I know that if I stop, I'll most likely get shot. It's the never-ending drive, it's the never-ending drive. It's the drive to stay alive. It's my... Look, how many black kids are you gonna kill? And how many black lives are you gonna steal? You gave us our freedom, but it came with a pill. You say that we're free, but you won't give us bail. Hoping and praying on mirror and cells, squashing our women so they won't prevail. Lie to our faces and say it's a tale that slavery ends well, and now we gotta chill. Like, I threw away the peace treaty, cause you don't know how to treat me. You don't know how to treat me. It's the never-ending drive. It's the never-ending drive. It's my drive to stay alive. I'm trying to stay up. It's the never-ending drive. The drive to stay alive. Cause I know that if I stop, I know that if I stop, it's the never-ending drive. It's my strive to stay alive. I'm trying to stay alive.
Welcome back, guys. We have our participants with us, so we're going to start the next section of Bursting with Expressions. So as you guys know, oh wait, let me introduce them. Malaika, would you like to introduce what you do?
I'm a singer, sound engineer. I compose a lot, I write a lot. So that's basically what I do. Set design on the side.
Nice.
That's about it.
So it's perfect to have you on Expressions. And Irene, student and future actress. So we'll have another participant come in later, but we're going to start anyways. So we're going to do, so as you guys know, we always start with our meditation. I'm going to do the meditation a little bit differently. I'm going to use the techniques that Emily has shown me during our session, and we're going to activate the body. Okay? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
So you guys might have done these already. Maybe you haven't done them in a while. We'll see. But we're going to start by... There, I want to show you guys so that, but I want to get. Okay, we're gonna start. Let's start with. I'm seeing what body part we should start. We should start with. When we're gonna shake the body, you guys are gonna stand up. But now I want you guys to. You can start seated. So we'll start with the shoulders. We'll start with the shoulders. So having your hands right here, and just opening up the shoulders. Oh, is this in the way? Okay. Just opening up the shoulders. And breathing. So I wanted to bring breath work into this. So just taking deep inhales and deep exhales and feeling your body and waking up that section of the body. You guys are also going to feel the heat in there. And then when that feels good, turning into the other direction as well. Yeah. You guys want to do the standing uncomfortable sitting?
No.
Okay. Then we're going to go up to the neck, do some neck rolls. This one always feels really good. At home also, if you guys want to do this, then you guys can join us. And deep inhales, deep exhales. Feeling it in all your body, getting that energy in there, feeling it like move, crack, smooth out, smooth out. Yes. Up and down, whatever feels really good for you. I want to end with the face, so you guys can get up for this one. And we're going to do the chest. So you know those rolls that you guys did when you were young? Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, you're still a student, so rolling your chest, rolling your body, opening up, and breathing deep. Don't forget to breathe, guys, so you feel that energy. Get in there. And at home, also join in and just move your body. And if you guys want to go back, so then the wrists. I feel like I'm dancing.
Yeah. Body rolls.
Getting your wrist rolls in there, both directions.
I'm about to pop a breakdown.
Yeah. See, so the energy is starting to move. Feel that heat. Get the breathing in there. Then going down to your waist. You guys can do a belly dance or a roll.
I'm doing the hula hoop.
Yes, the hula hoop. That's exactly what I mean. And then whenever that feels good, going down to the knees. You know that move from the in and out. I'm not going to do too much because I got my skirt on, so. You can do inwards too, like that one, and then outwards. Yes.
Like the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. I love the two different energies that we see from that. Then we're good to do the ankles. And then roll out the ankles.
Do the stanky leg.
Yo, we're about to do a
Do
whole
the inside as well, and then do the other leg as well. Love that.
A whole choreography.
Mm-hmm. And then we're going to lift the legs. We're going to lift the knees. So I said be comfortable.
Honestly, this is very comfy for me.
Okay, good. She got the Beyonce and Austin Power vibe going. I love it. Ready? Okay, so before I want to end with the face because I want us to see your faces. So we're gonna shake the body first. So shake, 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 shake. Like you're releasing energy. And don't forget to breathe, guys. So whole time. And let yourself go. Yes. Feel that energy moving. Feel the heat. I feel the heat. At home, I'm sure you guys feel the heat too. If you're catching the replay, do it anyways. All right, so you guys can sit down, and we're going to focus on the face now. How do you guys feel just from moving the body?
I feel great.
Yeah, that felt good, eh? All right, so we're going to do a few things that we did when we were young and that I kind of forgot about until Emily showed me. So we're going to start with we're going to start with you're super excited. So super excited, you haven't seen someone that you've in a long time, like you're seeing a person that your childhood friend that you haven't seen in years, or a family member that you haven't seen in years, and you're super excited to see them, and so you're opening wide. That's how you, okay, whatever feels right. But you're opening wide, you're opening your face, everything is just open.
Yeah. It's left my face like
super excited. That's your excited
no,
open
literally
face?
meaning like
that's funny, I like it. Then we're gonna close up, we're gonna close our faces like you're scrunching, you're frowning, everything is contracted. So you're getting the wide open and then you're getting the contracted close. So make sure you guys know, like you sense it. You can feel those muscles opening.
me starting to realize I don't have a lot of facial expression.
So this is how you get to
that's like me mad and that's me happy.
Play with it. So open, like you're opening your jaws, yeah? Like you're at the doctor. Like, yeah. And then closing up, see? Yeah, just feeling different sensations in your mouth, in your nose.
I feel like the smile muscle is like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, I feel that.
See, but it's different when you do this and the way you do like a weird grimace. And then when you you can feel it right here.
Okay, yeah,
right?
that's nice.
Yeah. See, it feels nice. It does. I was like, ah. And then you can feel it in your eyebrows when you're like this. And then you're scrunching, and your eyes are scrunching, and it's all like this. And then, I don't know if you guys did this when you were younger.
Oh my god, I
I
forgot.
can't do it.
You know that nose thing when your mom is looking at you?
Oh my god, that's so much brainwork.
Where you're trying to open up your nostrils to open up, because your nose has that filter, right? How does that feel? And you guys stretch
really
your
feel it.
forehead. You know how like women are always saying, "Oh, here, right here. I want here to be tight."
My
We're
old
playing with
teacher,
it a little bit.
She used to pretend she had a wig and she'd like move her forehead like this.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good too.
that's
That's
good
nice too.
No, it feels nice.
It
like,
does.
oh.
Yeah. Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. Okay, now, you know the fish. Yeah. Oh, you can do it. I can't do it. You can probably do it. No. No.
What, like, eh?
Yeah, the fish lips. Yeah, you're doing it. Yeah, you're doing it. I can't do it. You're not bad.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's really good. Oh, I don't know. I lost it. And then, eyebrows. Playing with your eyebrows.
I can only do one.
Yeah, me too, supposedly.
And then, so she was like, just play,
Oh my
like,
God.
try to, like, put your hands how the
How
other
the-
side would feel and see what muscles are being used. And then you guys can practice in the mirror. So that will help you decontract your whole body. Okay, so you can massage your feet as well if you guys want to get into your feet. You can massage your shins. You can, so every part of your body gets that moving energy. Exactly, your fingers, you're like that. So your ears, if you guys want to, I can't move my ears, but you know, you can even do your ears.
Oh my god.
You can just massage your ears if you can't move your ears.
Stretching the ears.
And then your scalp. And then just getting your scalp. I like that you guys did like this. But
Yeah, it
you know,
does
just-
feel so good. I
yeah.
feel like my whole head is moving.
Very good, guys. How did that feel?
Honestly, I feel great.
So there's one more that she did show me, the tongue. So yes. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna do like you're going to see the doctor, but you're gonna spell out your name. Okay. So at home I want you guys to do that. So yeah, spell out your name. So you can do it first. She said it's easier when you spell it out first. So like Jessica, then Jessica. I got better, didn't I?
So you're like talking with your tongue?
Yeah.
Out?
So you can move your lip, but your tongue is like out like that. Jessica. And try to be clear, and that helps with your pronunciation. No, did you get what she said?
Damn. Oh my god. Okay,
Do
wait.
you?
Mine is too long. Okay, wait.
You get more practice.
A-L-A-I-K-A.
What did she say?
A-K-U.
No, you didn't understand what she said?
A-E-I-A.
No.
Let me try that again. M-O-M-A-L-A-I-K-A.
Momika?
Almost slay.
That was almost.
That was enough.
Okay, now
That was
you
enough.
do yours again, and she'll try to see if she understands.
A-I-E-N-E.
Yeah.
Eli.
That's what it's giving.
E-L-I. Try it again one more time.
I-E-N-E.
I got L-E. Eli. Like,
All right, so you guys could try it at home with whoever you're at home with, but that was the whole body energy expression. So I hope you guys like that. Yeah, they look like they're getting in the vibe there.
in the
So
vibe.
good. That's good job. Good job. So I guess you guys are gonna be two competitors because our third participant is not here yet. So the next game is what is the emoji? So we're still gonna be doing expressions, communication, and the audience. If you're at home, please try to guess what emoji. Well, I'm gonna tell you the emoji anyways, but we're gonna rate how good they are. Okay. So I'm gonna show you the emoji, And this is a point system. So you're going to get an essential oil, wild orange for energy, for cleansing.
And for scent.
For scent. Yes, it does smell super good. So we're going to start with smile. And so at home, if you guys want to rate them as well, but we're going to rate each other here to see who has the better expression. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
She's like, no.
Probably not me.
Okay, so smile. Okay. What do you guys think? We'll have the audience vote with us. Who had the better smile? I vote here. Malika. Which one? Damn. Irene? Do you guys want to vote Brisa and Kenzo?
Taking it personally.
You were looking? Who had the better smile? Malika? I agree. So
I'd be getting the act in place.
okay, so Malika wins that one. Sad.
Watch me.
Irene. Irene. Okay. So 1 point each.
Too hard. That one is very hard. Don't use it often.
All right, ready for the next one?
Okay,
guys?
that is my name.
Angel.
So if you guys
Angel.
vote against that,
Your name is Angel?
it means
Malika.
Angel.
Ah.
So
Angel.
listen,
The more you know.
listen, look at that.
Angel. Oh, that is good. Oh. Okay, Malika. It was good though, Irene. It's just she killed it.
Look at that.
Yeah. It looks really close to that one.
Okay, that.
This one, so I called it huh?
But
That looks
like you guys can interpret it how you guys can see it on the screen, right?
Do we sarcastic shock or?
Interpret it because
would be
at
like,
home
you
they
for
can
real?
They
I'd be
can
like,
see
we
what it
take
is.
it out.
And I'll show you guys as well so you can vote on it. Yeah. You see it? Okay. I'll go Irene. Irene?
Oh, wow.
She's not sure. Not sure either.
She said, huh.
Malika?
She said, huh. That's. Oh.
Okay, so we'll say Irene for this one. Yeah? So what are we at? 2-2? Whoa. Okay. Not bad, guys. Not bad. Not bad.
I'm getting that orange.
You need to give context, because what is that?
I don't know.
Are we trying to just copy?
He looks sassy though.
That's my thing.
Interpret
Wait.
it. And then we'll see.
Wait, huh?
Oh my gosh! I like Malika, so I'll go Malika. You're even
He got the
distracting
side mouth. Like,
Yo!
like,
I'll go with Malika for this one. Malika? Yeah.
that was me looking at those. I'm like, no. No.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Okay, 3-2. Next is anger. Angry.
Okay, think of your black mother.
Nah, for real.
Wait, let me think real quick.
Wait. You do it, then I'll do it.
Someone got a belt? I need something in my hand. Like,
Okay. You,
That's-
Irene?
it's a lot of.
I'm not an angry person.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll go
Like-
Malika. I'll go Malika.
I would just be like,
Because I liked how you put your body into it.
get to it. That's about the body.
Well, no. Irene?
Slide.
Oh, okay. That makes
Slide.
2-2. Brice, you're the tiebreaker. Irene? All right, Irene got this one.
She literally said like that.
So we're back to 3-3. So last one. Are you guys ready?
What is that supposed to
Winky.
be?
It's the winky face. Yeah.
This is the one with the tongue out? This is the one with the tongue out?
This one he has is he's showing his tongue, but you
Because
can
the
do
real emoji is like,
Yeah, it's the one with the tongue out.
like that's what I want. Like,
That's it. I like it. Interpretation.
yo. I can't blink.
I like Irene.
I can't blink. How do you do that?
Malika? Malika?
Yo.
Malika, you don't know. Okay,
Yo.
Malika wins then. Yeah, sorry. Irene was like, I'm trying
Wait,
to get
who got the orange?
4-3.
I guess it go with your outfit.
Oh, that would be nice. Wait,
Okay,
is there
so
one
that
more?
was really good, guys. Good job.
You can take the orange, babe.
You want
I have
some
two, so I'll give him. If she's giving you hers, then.
Okay, no, I won't. If there's two, I was just being nice.
Luckily, I brought two just in case. I didn't know how well you guys would do.
Oh.
I'm gonna pour
She's
it.
asking right now. No time.
She's like, this is what I wanted. Thank
gonna
you guys
smell
for
good.
participating. How did that feel? How
Honestly?
did they do?
Yeah, I think we're both not angry people.
Yeah, it was good, right?
Yes.
Slay.
We love
that.
All right. So we're going to go into our last section of the segment, and we're going to do a little activity before we have our discussion on how you guys can implement this in your lives to increase that energy. So I'm going to have Emily come back on stage.
Emily.
So you can sit between them. And so we're going to give you guys one sentence, and you guys are going to play with different emotions of those sentences. So Emily's going to give you guys the emotion, and if you can tell them the sentence.
Yes. So this exercise is called different takes. It's similar to what you just did with the emojis, where you're channeling an emoji. This time I want you to channel a specific feeling or emotion.
Yeah,
And
in a
you're going to
sentence.
say the same sentence for each emotion. The sentence is, you told me this would work. Okay, so you have to figure out what's your interpretation.
Now she's an actress.
But you said you were too.
Artist in life. Babes.
Okay. So the
Future actress.
first emotion we're going to do is frustration.
Mm.
Okay, how can you say, you told me this would work with frustration?
You told me this would work.
Now you told me this would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was good. And think about how this automatically changes your face and your voice, your body, right? You can really use all of it, all of these parts when you're saying that line. That was really good. Next emotion we can do is discouraged. So now you're feeling, it's a little different than frustration. You're feeling really discouraged.
You told me this would work.
Damn, she good at this. Can I walk out? Can I? Damn. You told me this would work. It's my hands. That's what needs to happen. It's not that.
Okay, that was really good.
I
Next
feel like I
up-
could hear you saying it though in like a real life. So maybe your body wasn't, but your voice. I feel like that's how you would say it.
Probably.
But you can communicate with different parts of your body, right? There's so many different interpretations of frustration and discouragement. Next, we can do
That smells good.
excitement. We're really excited.
You told me this would work.
That's
We're going to switch it up so you go first next time.
Yeah.
that's sad. That's worse.
We're really excited.
Ooh. You told me this would work. Give me
Good. Okay, Malika, why don't you take us off with, let's see, what can we do? Sass. Let's do sass.
You told me this would work. Work.
I like that.
You told me this would work.
Hey, why did we always?
That was good.
Okay, maybe one last one. Shock, but really disbelief. You can't believe what's going on.
Okay, I feel like that's where the poker face would come in. You told me this would work.
Nice after. Shock.
Like,
I was ready for that.
You told me this would work. I believe you.
That was good, guys.
Very
Thank you. But I love that you use different parts of you. Like she said, use different parts. You see, you said it, but then after your eyes were like. that was-
Yeah, I mean, you could go about it in different ways. For the last one, shock, you could be like speechless. You told me this would work. You know, bring it down. Or
y'all
like,
so good at this.
you told me this would work. You know, there are different interpretations. So there's
Amazing.
no right or wrong. It depends on you, but different takes is to figure out if you're saying something and you're not really sure how you feel about it or how you want other people to feel. How can we do different takes?
Ooh, do one more for us. I'll pick.
Okay, sure.
Curious.
Curious.
Yeah.
Okay. You told me this would work.
That work was giving very work.
There are some that are more nuanced. It can be more subtle. I'm like, you told me this would work.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I like the
I like that
yeah,
one. I like that
was
one.
Good. All right. Thank
So
you,
same
Emily.
sentence, yeah. Different interpretations,
Yes.
different takes.
Good. I love it. So we're gonna go into the discussion of it. You can. I don't know if you want to stay. You could. Whatever. Up to you.
I don't wanna
Yes,
stay.
you can stay.
Yeah.
So, how does communication play a role in your daily life? As an artist, as a student, as future actress, whoever wants to go first.
Whatever.
I don't really communicate with my teachers, so
Your
I got
friends.
my friends. Well, yeah, we talk a lot and everything. Like communication, like how does it work with my friends?
Yeah, in your daily life, how does it play a role? How do you use it? I know you're very
Well, like
energetic.
we have more fun. Like before, like I used to stay quiet and I wouldn't tell my friends how I'd feel and stuff. And on se dispute plus, we'd have more arguments. Yeah. And now everything gets resolved quicker because we're telling each other, "Yo, I didn't mean it like that," and they're like, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that either."
So you guys created a bond that made your communication more fluid.
Yeah.
I like it.
I feel like from a Capricorn who likes everything done well, I feel like I need to communicate prior and be very specific with where my brain is going when it comes to my art, for once. Even when it comes to my friendships, like, most of my friends know that, like, if things are not planned and et cetera, and, like, my head is all over the place all the time. So I feel like now that, like, I communicated that thing with, like, the people I work with my family, my friends, whatnot I can accept mentally, and things like that, I feel like for me, life has been better, but also probably for those people because they're expecting me to, example, come at that limit that I gave.
So you know where you come from, so they kind of know where you stand.
Yeah, where
how
I
you
stand. Like boundaries, I feel like are part of that communication thing, and like if people don't know your boundaries and where you stand and things like that, like it's very hard to build any type of friendship or relationship or even, you know, any type of kinship, I would say. So I feel like, yeah, that's where communication in my life is.
I like that because you already know, you're already aware of how you communicate, so you let people know this is how I like things.
Because if you share your life with multiple people and nobody communicates, you can never like meet at a middle ground, I feel like. And people really, I feel like, underestimate communication, especially in like friendships. And then that's how so many people are like, I go through 1,200 friend groups and things like that. It's like, maybe you should just communicate where we can meet in between.
I like that. I feel like it goes into my next question, which is where do you feel like you express yourself best?
What would you mean by that?
Yeah. So like you're letting people know your boundaries, so I feel like that's your strength.
Oh, in like a feeling-wise type thing?
Do you think it's a strength the way you express and communicate yourself?
No, yeah, but I feel like you need to, like, for sure, like, everybody that communicates a little bit now, like, you were like, oh, arguments, like, things like arguments, like, bickering, and, like, losing people, and, like, makes you realize that, like, yeah, maybe I need to put more effort into communicating with people that I care about, and yeah, that's it's not just like partnership, you know, like.
But do you feel like that was the relationship, or do you feel like that's how you were communicating prior? So you were saying you didn't express yourself, you didn't communicate as much, but you already had those communication skills that you have now, right? So isn't it that was the relationship instead of that was how you best express yourself?
Well, not necessarily, because I feel like you can grow to like have more confidence into like letting people know, you know. Like, I knew what I deserved and I knew what I wanted and things like that, but I didn't want to create any type of arguments or, like, probably at some point I'd had moments where I was, like, just not mentally in the moment where I felt weak. So, like, I knew if we were just not even fighting, like, just exchanging and communicating, but I was too weak for that conversation. I would like crumble apart, and like now I feel like I had to mentally,
Get
you know,
stronger.
get this
Okay,
switch, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I like that advice. I'll take it to school.
Hey, communicate with the teachers, get credit.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so based on what you guys learned today and the activities we did, how do you guys feel like that can improve your communication skills in the future?
Okay,
Like-
she's an actress. No, because she's an actress, and I'm like, it's either you're like being very real, or that you'll be like, oh,
Sarcasm. Sarcasm.
like, you know.
Yo, I do that. I do
You're
that.
good at that. So I'm like, that would be me being like, are you for real or no? Or like, you're like having full on tears, like, nah. And I'm like, are you for real? You're like, nah.
She does do that.
Oh my God.
She can make herself cry.
That's so. Bye. You crying, being like, are you for real? You're being like,
She doesn't do it often.
I love that.
There's probably still a way for you to remain authentic, though, when you're communicating with your friends, with your teachers, and not performing. I'm sure you
Yeah.
feel it too.
Yeah. I make sure they know that I'm being sarcastic before I start being sarcastic.
Before you start, I don't after. Like, you do it, and then you're like, I'm just kidding.
No.
Yeah.
Because if I do that like before, like if I start going, they're gonna be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm
Okay,
like, "No, it was a joke. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. It was a joke."
Okay, I felt that, but I feel like me it's reversed.
Oh.
Or like the tables. That's me being like, and then the inside I'm like, yeah.
Just walks away.
Yeah, no, literally. Like, I'm like, I'm about to cry. Give me a minute.
So you'll say it before.
Oh, no.
No, after.
Oh, no,
you'll say
no.
it.
Like, if I'm actually acting, people will think it's true, and then I'm like, just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding, we're
okay.
good. But see, it's like, it's all from love. If I do it, it's because I know you can take it. Like,
get
I won't do this to someone I don't know. I'm going to be like, hee, hee, hee. You're going to make me cry.
I feel like they wouldn't be aware of how you act, so it might be like. Oh,
That's why usually I'm just like, you know, there's something about you don't know, you're not sure.
Yeah, it goes back to where you are and who you're with. So being aware of that. I like that. Very good. But yeah, how would it improve your communication? Sorry.
Like the different faces you just
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
think
was
that-
saying that just because, like, usually I'm very, like, poker facey.
Oh.
And, like,
Does it make a difference, though, when you
Are you
have
very? I feel like you were very.
I'm very expressive, but I feel like it's, like, with people I'm, like, close to, like, they know exactly where I come from. Like, I cannot say anything, and I'm just like, okay.
They see it on
Like,
your face.
I literally, but see, like, growing up with a Haitian mother, that's like giving very much. She wouldn't have to say anything, and I'd be like, oh, okay.
And you
my
get
ass
it
whooped.
from her nonverbal.
So like, you know,
Yeah,
so I feel like that's where I'm like, it's
sure.
either I'm like, or I'm like, but I don't really talk much.
See, like you guys, some of you will be able to tell what she's saying with just her expression.
But I already do that a lot. I just never realized that if I'm forced to doing it, like people are always like, yo, your facial expressions, like we know if you're lying, and I'm like, But if someone tells me you need to look angry, oh, you know I'm not angry because that's me. Like,
So you would work on your poker face.
I think I need to work on acting, on knowing what the real expressions is, because I feel like someone looks surprised and they're like, and that's me like,
Yeah, well, that exercise too is often used as a warm up so that your face isn't just still and not
Stiff.
yeah, like a whole like.
If you've been staring at a screen all day, we're talking about when we're working in front of a desk or watching something.
You're looking at the
we tend to
teacher all
get a
day. You're
little
like.
bit dead in the face. And so how can
Like
we
it
use
falls.
our faces? Sometimes exaggerating, and then it's easier to tone it back. Dial it back. Than if someone tells you be happy, and you're just like.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like you don't think about it.
You don't
You're
think about
just-
that. But
it's
being
more the
aware
feeling.
of your facial expressions is more important,
Yeah.
I would say, than trying to put on specific facial
Yeah.
expressions. So when you're doing your poker face, is that because you don't want people to read how you feel, or because you're concentrated? Do you notice when you use it
That's
the
a
most?
good
You mentioned
question.
people that you're less close to.
That's the thing. If I think of what my face looks like, that's when I'm gonna be like,
let's
Oh,
not
you're gonna
do
try
it,
to
you know?
neutralize
But I
it.
feel like most of the time, if I don't think about it, I probably
just
have
natural.
the most expressive face I've ever seen. Like, everybody's like, what are you thinking about? Like, you look pissed. And I'm like, they're like, I didn't know I looked like anything. I was just reading something. But then the minute you tell me that, it's done. Like, I'm like,
Okay, then you kind of okay.
yeah.
So I feel like, playing with different expressions maybe would.
Yeah, it's going to
Wow.
connect my brain
Yeah.
and the expression because it's
expression.
really
if
disconnected.
Your face is saying something and
Feeling something
your words
else.
are saying something completely different, then people aren't going to buy it.
Yeah.
Or they might think you're sarcastic, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay, so how would it improve your communication skills, any of the activities we did today?
I don't know, to be honest. Because I already feel like I communicate pretty well, so, like.
What about the warm-ups we did?
The warm-ups, they help me, like, relax my face, because, like, so, like, better, like, now when I wake up and I go to school, I know, okay, it's history, but that's okay.
Okay, so you would do the warm-ups just to help you more relax your face. Okay, I like that. Makes sense. Okay, so what are areas that you struggle with your communication? And we'll end there.
That's your part.
I guess, like, when I'm, like, mad, like, I'll joke about it, but, like, I'll be like,
Fit that drink in your
Wait, no, can you explain that more? So when you're mad, you'll laugh and then what?
well, like, if I'm mad and my friend does something to, like, piss me off more, I'll just be like, I'll laugh, but, like, laugh in, like, an irritated way. Like, I won't tell them, yo, you're pissing me off.
Oh,
I'll just be like,
Do you feel like that's helping your relationship, though?
Well, I feel like, because if I got mad, then they'd kind of take it the wrong way, and then the relationship
it
would
would
go,
create
like,
a
more
conflict.
down. So, like, I do that, and then I try to forget about it, and I try to, like, go back from zero, you know?
Okay, so you try to reset yourself. Okay,
Yeah.
this person irritated me, but I don't have to act on it.
Yeah. Like,
Good.
I don't have to make it ruin my day. I'll just be less irritated.
All right. Is it a struggle? I don't know.
Wait, what was the question again?
Oh, where do you feel like you struggle with communication?
Any times when you maybe
Because she
feel
came up with a
uncomfortable.
solution. She's like,
Yeah.
okay, but if I'm irritated, I'm going to reset my
See,
mood.
that's the thing. You know, when you say things out loud, you realize that you know what you gotta do. You just ain't ready. to
don't
do
feel
it.
like
You
doing it.
Don't feel like doing it. No, but seriously, I love that.
Yeah,
So it's
I feel like
that's
it's
my
good.
problem, and that's what I gotta do.
Yeah, that's what I like as well. That's what I'm like. So it's a struggle,
like-
but you already figured that out how to deal with it. So
But it's a struggle to get to do it too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a long time. Like I knew I had to
That's
do
true.
something about like my communication skills and my boundaries and things like that. It still took me 3 years to do that.
Ooh,
You know?
okay. I like that because then it ends with, you do have a struggle, but you have to take the time to fix that struggle as well.
And you
and
know
be
what
aware
they
of it.
say, it's not getting on top that's fun, it's doing the little walk up.
The day to day.
You know? So then when there, you're like, look how low I was. For real.
I agree. I agree with that. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to say on what you learned about communication and energy, how to apply it to your life, or something that it told you about your past? And then we'll end there. And if there's anything that you guys want to say at home about what you learned about communication, speaking, what it says about your habits, or how it's going to help you in the future, then let us know in the comment section.
Not really. I don't really have anything to say.
Good. So you enjoyed it? Everything was good?
Yes.
Awesome.
It was great. What was the last part of your question, though?
And how you can how it said something about your past habits or how you can apply it in the future. Anything you want to say about energy or communication?
That's something I already knew, but I think I don't know how you guys feel about like phones and the internet and things like that. Love for things like that.
I was actually going to bring that in next season, electronic communication and how we
because that's the only thing I feel like I need to do about that.
Yeah?
Like that, like in the future and my past, it's just like I feel like, you know, if there's a bunch of people in the room, like you can like take your time and like go answer every single one of them, but then you open your phone and you have like 300 notifications. It's like giving major anxiety, and that's probably something you need to put your brain in a mindset to be like, I need to go. That's my problem in communication, in all honesty. I feel like that's what, like, calm down and then.
Yes, we'll keep that in mind for next
No.
season. I do like that you brought that up. Last season, we actually talked about how people talk through text how you interpret it and through emojis. So, yeah.
Through emojis.
Because you might misinterpret it like
Everything's
a message, and
connected.
so some people will add emojis so you can kind of, we were talking about. So
Well,
you can
that's what I
kind of-
meant with the facial expressions. That's why I hate phones, because I feel like if you talk to someone, you can see
They're
their,
just gonna have their crying,
you
laughing
know,
face all the
they're
time.
crying, laughing face. No, but you see the fake crying, laughing. It's like, what do you mean about that? Are you actually sobbing? Or are you laughing? Or
No, but you know when
on the
you're doing
floor,
that
yeah.
hard laugh where you're just like, oh my,
oh my
it's
God!
that.
But some of them are like, I'm crying, and I'm like, whoa. You good?
So you can even misinterpret the emojis, but there's so many emojis
See,
nowadays.
so facial expressions, but not that over the phone. So FaceTime, you tell me what you need.
Yeah,
Then hang up.
that's true. So video calls, I like video calls. They do help. All right, so that's all we have for Bursting with Expressions on this season. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Malaika. Thank you, Emily, for coming and showing us some tips on how to increase our energy when it comes to communication. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you are watching the replay, then let us know in the comment section what you guys thought, and we will catch you on the next one. In 2 weeks, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Y'all was amazing.
Let me get my orange.
Oh, yes. And
Oh
there
my
you
God.
Go. You can smell it. So she was smelling.
Number 2